Welcome to Miler's Mods, ladies and gentlemen. So, this video is going to be a little bit different. Today, we're going to be talking about Dart Zone and the community. There's a couple key points I'm going to talk about. One, has Dart Zone become a victim of its own success? That's just one of the questions I'm going to talk on. The other one is a lot of groups in a lot of blaster clubs, they have hard caps, which are you can't go above that cap no matter. That's what it is. That's what it is. If it's 150, you cannot go above that. If you do, your blaster's not eligible and you have to go find another blaster. I get that. But we're going to be talking about that too and how Dart Zone has changed that in some areas, but some areas still have not. But first, let's talk about the company itself, Dart Zone. When Dart Zone originally came out, it made like novelty blasters and stuff like that, but then they started making better and better product. Actually, better product than Hasbro. And so, what I mean by Dart Zone possibly being a victim of its success is the first high powered blaster it put out was the 1.0. This is a 1.1, however. Okay? The only difference is the coloring. That's it. But when this blaster came out in 2019, it performed really, really well. It shot like 160 to 200 right out of the box. Beautiful blaster. Okay? The price tag on this thing wasn't that beautiful though. And they only made 1,000 of them. Okay, this is not the collector's item. This is one of the stock versions from Target. But in any event, that's what this is. But when the 1.1 came out, then Dart Zone realized, hey, there's a market here. We could sell higher powered blasters to the consumer. And people will buy them. In which they did. This blaster for months and months would go in and out of circulation left and right. Very hard to get a hold of when they finally released them at Target. You could literally spend a month trying to wait for this blaster to show up in inventory. So Dart Zone saw what they were doing and they figured, well, they'll take it a step further. So they got a hold of Walmart that makes Adventure Force blasters. Well, they make blasters for Adventure Force, so they decided to do Pro blasters. First one they did here was this one here. This is the Nexus Pro. This blaster right here, I want you to seriously consider this. This blaster was a game changer. This blaster gave you 150 FPS for $50. That's right, 150 FPS for $50 right out of the box. No modifications needed to it, no nothing. Now here's the thing. You say, that's awesome, that's great. But that also killed a lot of things. That killed the elite retaliator being the end all beat all on the field and stuff like that. Okay? But you say that's great. This is a blaster you could actually take to a battle and you would do okay in. Literally. Then Dart Zone decided, well, let's make it a little bit cheaper. So they come out with this guy here. This is the Eon Pro. Okay? It came out with this blaster in the summer of 2020. This is a 150 FPS blaster. It cost 25 United States dollars when it came out. That's right, 25 bucks. Great little blaster for $25. Okay? Well, Christmas time, 2020 came around, and they came out with this guy here. This is the MK2. This is a 150 FPS pistol for $80. Okay? And then they had a couple misses next year. They had the Conquest Pro, which I don't have that blaster here anymore. I had a long time ago. I gave it away to one of my subscribers. I don't even remember which one, but He won the 300 subscriber contest, so I sent him my Conquest. But it's whatever. They came out with the Conquest Pro. It was a nice blaster, but it needed the stock. That's it. I really didn't care for the blaster, and it definitely needed the stock. Okay. So Dart Zone realizes that, hey, we're making a lot of money at this. Let's try a flywheeler. So they try the MK3. It's a great blaster, won't take anything away from it. It came LiPo ready out of the box. That blaster was $130. Okay. Then Dart Zone decides, well, we're going to make a few more blasters that are Target exclusives. So they came out with this blaster here, the Max Striker. The Max Striker came out about 2021, the summer of 2021, in August. It's a blaster very similar internals to the Nexus Pro, shoots at 150 FPS in stock form. None of these blasters here are in their stock form except for the MK 2.1 because I haven't ordered the safety delete and extended mag release for this blaster yet. But you see, that's very interesting. Well, what does all this have to do with the community? All right, us as a community, when a company is really good, we're all over it. Yay, yay, yay. Great for Dart Zone. No company's perfect. None. And when people say what happened to Dart Zone because of, either they didn't like the MK3, the Conquest, or the Deuce Pro, or whatever, then they're always ready to jump on Dart Zone. But however, when Hasbro messes up, we're used to that. So that's what it is. So I believe that Dart Zone has become a victim of their success because they've made so many really, really awesome blasters, over the course of the year. And they've had a couple blasters that were not the best in the world, like the MK3, the Conquest, and the Deuce Pro. But yet they actually fixed the Conquest and turned it into this blaster here, the Dictator. This blaster is a lot better than the Conquest just because of one thing. It has a stock. That's it. It has a stock. So they fixed it. The same thing here with the MK 2.1. We wanted a blaster that had mag and grip. They gave us mag and grip. Granted, it was only 6 shots, but they gave us mag and grip. They gave us a collector's item. The first collector's item blaster ever that I've seen that does 150 FPS, the Jurassic Pro. And then they figured, well, let's do something really nice. So for this one here, this is $70. This is the Dart Zone Max Tomcat. Now, this is where the second part of my discussion comes in, the community and FPS caps. This blaster costs $70 at Target. That's right, $70. People were getting this blaster and it shoots at 170 FPS. That's really spicy. Okay, and it's too spicy for some groups. Groups that have 150 FPS hard cap. People are actually tuning this blaster down. They're forced to do it. I believe Joe from Xfox Games did that. There's another guy named Eric Haygood that actually was talking about it. But that's what it is because a lot of groups out there that play with the 150 FPS cap rule, they're still in the mindset that everybody uses long darts and that the Retaliator still owns the field. It doesn't. The days of the Retaliator that has $100 worth of parts in it are gone instantly. As soon as that blaster came out, those days died. Okay? So you started to transform from what I call Nerf 1.0 to Nerf 2.0. This is all Nerf 2.0. This is higher power than a lot of people. a lot of clubs have adapted to this and just raised their caps. That's that's awesome, but some of them just haven't. And those are the ones that I'm afraid, and they're not raising their caps for one of two reasons. One, it could be because of local laws and things like that, which I understand. But the other reason is they're just not willing to change with the times. Times are changing for everybody and everywhere. This community should be no different. You should seriously look at your caps, especially when blasters are coming out that are like that, where you have to tune them down to actually use them at certain events. I mean, is Dart Zone a victim of its success? Yes, absolutely. The reason being is because they've made so many awesome blasters, and they've made a couple ones that weren't so awesome. Like the Conquest, the Deuce Pro, and MK3. But the rest of them were great. And you know how people are. If you make something that's so great and then you make one bad product, everybody's like, what's going on with them over there? Nothing. It just is what it is. They're just trying to feel out their audience, in my opinion. The second part about the FPS caps, because of these blasters here, you're going to have to seriously consider raising your FPS caps. Because, 170 FPS for $70, people are going to be buying these things like hotcakes. Look at how many Nexus Pros got sold. A lot. The same thing with the Striker, the Dictator, the Eon. I know a guy that bought 6 Eon Pros. Basically, he bought an entire case of them. Yep. So you people are going to have to adjust. There has to be adjustment somewhere and everywhere. And that's my thought about the FPS caps. Just adjust your caps if you can. If you can't, explain why you can't. Or if it's because it's a kiddie game, then maybe keep the last couple rounds for adults to play of a certain age. Until next time, this is Milo's Mods signing off.